All right, Shalom Yashala. Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Waharakak Wadash Brakathum. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Ahchyam, pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aquat that they're listening. What I'd like to get into is, being prudent. Okay. I do have a screenshot of the meaning of prudent in the King James. Okay, the KJV. You know, the KJV Bible. Okay. In the King James version of the Bible, a prudent person is defined as one who is cautious, wise, and discerning, seeing danger and planning accordingly rather than acting impulsively or foolishly. Okay, so that's what we're seeing now. So that's the whole premise of me doing this video is the reactions that those who are in the driver's seat, those who have the keys to media and so forth. Okay, these actions that they're receiving is what's fueling the beast, man. This is perfect. It's like, once again, it's like Elder Yashawamba always says, man, it's pretty much a psyop. you know it's a psyop. It's these people are looked at as what? Lab rats for the most part. They're experimental, man. So they're not looking for people who are discerning these things. They're looking for those emotional reactions, impulsive, foolish rants, because everyone has their phones out. Everybody's being recorded, and first and foremost, we do it. We gonna record regardless, man. Hey, woe unto us if we preach not the gospel. So that's why, that's why these sit downs, street teachings, and so forth. Hey, we we're trying to gain favor from the Lord. Everything else is outside noise. Okay, let me continue reading these definitions pertaining to being prudent, a prudent person. Key verses describe the prudent person as one who foresight. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. Okay, and these scriptures are will be gotten. Okay, or will be read, I shall say. Wisdom. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand their way. Okay, these are all key things that we have to apply to our daily life. For you Ahchyam and Aqua. Just a reminder. Being prudent. Can't always fly off the handle. And I'll, like I always say, speaking to myself first and foremost. And that's, some things trigger you, but man, when you in the spirit, man, and just really trying to align yourself, bro, everything else is like, man, it's a waste of energy, to put energy into anything other than Yahweh Bashim Yashai in the body, man. That's where the energy should be focused at, and we're a part of the body, you yourself, right? Ahchyam and you Aquat out there, focus, hey, you know, do what you're supposed to do, as far as, reading lessons, research, praying, fasting, working on your health, dieting, exercising, that's where the energy belongs, not this stuff that's currently going on, man. And that's another reason for this lesson being done is being prudent, man. Everything that's going on, everything is a trigger word now. Everything will be accounted for. Okay. So that's also a way for them to push, the image, the image of the beast, before the MOTB. MOTB, man, before, that comes into play, which, that's already been brought up, to the public. Okay. So that's already been brought up to the public, but this is still prepping for the image of the beast, mindset, and, get down or lay down, discretion. A prudent man conceals knowledge while a fool proclaims foolishness. Is that not what we're seeing with the current climate of America, man? People are just going balls to the wall, just over anything happening, you know. And what's crazy, it's ill. It's more ill things going on than what I'm referring to. Because a lot of what, of course, anything that's going on in Babylon around the world will always be Yahweh Bashem Yahshua worthy. Why? Because prophecy calls it out. Prophecy means what? To tell before it happens, man. Okay? So everything that's going on, hey, it was the will of the Heavenly Father, okay? And let me get this last one. I'll get some scriptures. Carefulness. A prudent man looks well to his going, whereas the simple believes every word and suffers for it. So all these examples I've read are scriptural. They just they don't have the verses. That's why of course I'm gonna go to the exact verses these are referring to. But yeah, man, so that foresight, wisdom, discretion, and carefulness, that's what being prudent embodies. Not just out here acting a goddamn fool, man. Have your decorum, have composure. We're representative of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, So if y'all can bear me, Baba Koshah, this is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 16. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. Okay? You're not to be just necessarily open book, to these people, man. It's kind of like when when you don't like cameras in your face, like like the paparazzi, right? A prudent man covereth shame. You know what I'm saying? Just but a fool's wrath, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give them what they want, just acting a damn fool, when it's more so like I'm we're to a point to where we should always be mysterious. Now if it's surface level, and even then at times with that, it's like, man, I'm just doing, I'm just doing what I do. I'll let you figure the rest out. I'll let you pick up clues. That's how we have to move in this truth, Ahchyam, and Aquat out there. I'll reread that again. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. Okay. Verse 23, same chapter. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. Okay. You got people, Jake, in particular, I'm just, I'm a real nigga. And then unfortunately you got men who've tried to bring that into the truth, man. I'm a real nigga. Bro, Lord ain't dealing with niggas, man. The Lord are dealing with men who want to change and who are in the spirit, man. Who are ready to go from level, who are ready to level up and go from glory to glory. Lord ain't dealing with niggas, man. You proclaiming foolishness? Hey, the Lord is surely not dealing with you. Not the way not the way you hope he'll deal with you. I'll put it to you like that. Okay. A prudent man concealeth knowledge. Okay. Getting, and to conceal is to what? It's to gather and carry, man. But Jake rather what? Proclaim 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 foolishness, man. Okay, because that conceal is to what? Is to is to hide, keep from sight. You know. So when you look up that word conceal, trying to uh trying to obtain all we can, man. While Jake is cool with while Jake is cool being a nigga out here. What are we trying to do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua? A prudent man concealeth knowledge. Okay? And bear me, Baba Kashah, I'm gonna see what that biblical meaning of concealeth is. Okay? Woo! Man, a prudent man concealeth knowledge. Okay? It has a dual meaning. It can refer to hiding something from sight or knowledge, which is often associated with sin, deception, or lack of openness by people. Okay? And concealment. So like it bear me Baba Kashah. Let me see. Yeah, so by you concealing knowledge, we know how to move, man. We know how to move, bro. So you have to know how to move to carry this knowledge and wisdom. You don't have to. You don't have to every room you go into or every interaction you have to let people know, hey, I'm this and that. Nah, bro. Just through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, and you read the room. You go with the flow through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And we know how to move. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahshua. I know how to move. I'm still working on to improve my movements. Okay? A prudent man concealeth knowledge. So we don't need, they don't need to know. We know the Lashawan Kodash and so forth and this and that. But if it's the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua and they, yeah, if it's a simple question, I'm not gonna go too deep, it's because it's really no need for that. Okay. But the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. Okay, that's all out in the open. Just the ratchetness and rattiness, man. And that's why a lot of Jake is getting caught up now, man. As social media is a death sentence for a lot of Jake. Okay, a prudent man concealeth knowledge. We know we knowing how to move, man. That's a blessing, bro. Knowing how to move and not being caught up in ego and your emotions. It's definitely not a good look, man. Okay. Salaki. Bear me Baba Kushai. Okay. Next chapter. Salaki. It's got a lot of beautiful examples of being prudent, man, in these scriptures, man. Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 13. This is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 16. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly. What did it say in the prior chapter? To concealeth knowledge. But these Jake who want to be fool ass niggas be that nigga. Oh, I'm really like, what I'm saying? Just, no decorum, man. You know, because some of our people choose to be open book the wrong way. You want to be read totally wrong. You know, you want to be you want to be Salakia. The way you're presenting yourself to be read, you will later be offended by it, bro. Because when you're called out on it, you know, Jake thinks, a level of degeneracy is like some rite of passage. Nah, man. You being looked at, as the scriptures say, but a fool layeth open his folly. And we're really in a time, man, if you not exercising knowledge, utilizing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you're going to get ate up. As you can see, Jake is looking terrible out here, man. Jake is going to get eaten up, getting eaten alive as we speak right now. Because not knowing how to concealeth knowledge. Okay? Not being prudent, man. You're not using that foresight, that wisdom, that discretion, that carefulness, man. Okay? This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 8. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Bro, if you don't move as a prudent person, you're looked at as a fool, man. Okay? But the folly of fools is deceit. And that's how a lot of people are moving, man. Because when you're a fool, you what? You're lacking wisdom, man. Okay, you're lacking wisdom. You negate everything the scriptures explain in beautiful detail. You have an issue with that. You disregard everything. So that's the difference with a fool and a prudent man. Okay, Ahchyam and you Aquat out there. Okay. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. So you're without instruction. You're without wisdom. Okay. So a lot of people are paying for that now because they just move so foolishly and then have the nerve to brag about it. Like, bro, you moving weak and weird out here. Moving terrible out here. This is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 15. The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. Okay? So that's where we're at, man. Trying to become more wise, trying to obtain more wisdom, trying to concealeth it, man. Trying to, gather that, hide it, carry with us everywhere we go. Okay, because it needs to be utilized everywhere we go, bro. Whether it be work, whether it be a grocery store, gas station, lounge, restaurant, running errands, making, maybe it's not a good idea to go to an ATM at 3 a.m. Because I know sometimes, like, man, I got to get up early and do this, maybe it's not the best, just those simple things, man. And of course, it gets deeper with Ahchyam, man. You have to, try to go from glory to glory with a level of thinking, man. And just that common sense. But as they say, sense ain't that common, man, these days. Okay, let me read that again and get to the last scripture I was going to bring out. The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. Okay. So that's what we're after. We're not trying to proclaim no BS that ain't gonna benefit us and only get us killed, man. Don't. No, sir. This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. What's that again? That's that conceal. That concealing, man. So you concealeth that knowledge and wisdom, okay, that you've, pretty much is taken in your bosom, and La'ab, your heart, you've, you know, to obtain these things, man. And we're, doing our best to hold on to them. This is a gift, Ahchyam, and you Aquat out there, man. This is very precious to have prudence and to be a prudent person, man. Because you're not watching your steps. What happened? Usually trip, sprain an ankle, or could possibly fracture something, right? That's why you got to read the room, be circumspect. Watch where you're going. That's clearly what you have to do in your existence, man. Okay? Let me reread this in its entirety. I'm going to close out. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. Okay? But the simple pass on and are punished, not paying attention. It is what it is. Okay. And then they cut that camera on looking crazy as hell on social media. Where you have an opportunity to become prudent, but nah. You proclaimeth, the fools proclaimeth foolishness, man. Jake is out here is proclaiming BS and proud of it. And once again, remember, fools lack wisdom. Okay? Prudent men don't. Okay? And select Aquat out there as well. But that's all I have on this. And Abaratazad is edifying for the body. So with that, once again, call Halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Wahara Brakatham. Once again, I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Ahchyam, pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aquat that they're listening. Shalom.